Ethan.
I'm Emily.
And welcome back to What the Flock. So, we're here to tell you all about what's going on in the shop, all about our projects. I'm going to blather on about a cardigan for a while. Breaking news.
I'm going to skip over mine as quickly as possible.
Oh, and then we're going to tell you about some new stuff in the shop and give you guys a little bit of news and a little bit of an outline on some sale stuff that's coming up because somehow I did not realize that the Friday that just happened was Black Friday, and I planned a sale for this weekend thinking it was already over. And I was very wrong because I've been getting emails about this for a bloody month, so I didn't realize. I think we have a joint construction update for you guys this week. So they have been putting in some asymmetric triangular glass windows across the street that are also presented at a variety of angles that don't appear to meet, and one section of it doesn't look like they did it right.
I found out this bit with the hole. That's on purpose. It's in the picture. It's like an open balcony.
Thank goodness. In the middle of the Christchurch CBD with this incredible view of the facade of our building.
With like this much room between the glass.
Okay, and thankfully it's not very high.
Yeah. My favourite method is when the triangles don't fit together and they lean over and stomp on it.
Okay.
Or they get like a 2x4 with a bit of rope attached.
Yes.
And just like...
I still think the metal support post that they hammer upwards to push things open, I think that's...
Yeah.
So we're considering... I just want to point out, we have actually had someone come in for workplace safety in this shop where we sell soft goods, like literal yarn. Like if it falls on you, you're like, oh, no, the yarn fell out again.
Yeah.
And they have not had... Actually, that's not true. They've had several visits, but not enough. Anyway.
They were lifting a pane like over the road, like over the tram line. It's been a bit of a... I try not to look because it scares me.
When there's no one in the shop and I'm here Monday to Friday, I have to put AirPods in so that I can't hear the construction noise because you turn around to look when you hear the sound and then you're like, I wish I hadn't looked.
Like you hear shouts as a plane of glass is like...
tottering up towards a window and someone below it is swinging a hammer wildly and you're like... Did any of you talk about what you're doing today?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I do find it interesting the random deliveries they get for like insightful building parts.
Yeah, I have questions.
Like there was a super long truck earlier with just like big yellow long things. I'm like, what is that? Like,
we'll find out.
Unidentifiable.
Still not sure what color it's going to be.
Yeah.
So there's our many updates about the building across the road. Now, Emily.
Yes.
What are you working on?
I'm doing a test net.
Woo! We love test knitting.
Yeah.
Well, you seem to love test knitting.
Yeah.
Ethan has not tested. I will test knit for Olga and Hero. That's about it.
I'm just struggling with this one quite a bit. And I think it's because I'm also tired and got a lot going on.
You do have a lot on.
It looks simple, but it's just not. And just it has these like rows of stockinette with moss stitch ribbing. And then you have like increases and decreases going on, and you have to just kind of figure out which one you're supposed to do, and it's very confusing.
Does not seem like the best knitting project, and we might need a little bit of gentleness from our knitting project.
Yeah, and this was supposed to be halfway, and I felt like that was aggressive, so I've made this halfway.
Yeah, it was a little revealing.
But it's not on the designer's one. I'm like, I don't understand why it's so different. And she's not that different in size to me. So it's very baffling. But anyway, I do like the colour. It's very pretty. The colour
is beautiful. And yet again, it goes with what you're wearing. So you're all set.
And I'm not far off. Like I'm working on the bottom of the back. And then I just have it has like ribbing around the armhole. And then like big knitted bows at the side. So,
and the real reason why she made it.
Yeah.
Big knitted bows.
Exactly. So it's not far off finishing. It's just been a bit frustrating. And because I made a couple of changes, it got even more confusing. But anyway, that's
I do feel that.
So yeah, that's kind of all I've been working on because it's a test now. I'm trying to get through it.
That and your super secret gift knitting.
Yes.
Yeah. I finished my super secret gift knitting, which is great. It's a miracle, never before seen in human witnesses, that someone has finished their Christmas knit in November. I have finished several other things, including a cardigan in Albertine, and that design is going to be coming out hopefully in the next 2 weeks, which is exciting because I finished it all. Either that or I'm going to hold it and release a series of Durarium cardigans all at once. We'll find out. I am working on a selfish knit, a very, very extraordinarily selfish knit.
Now, we don't use those words, remember?
Sorry, I am working on a special project for myself, for my own enjoyment, and I am making Exeter by Michelle Wang, and this is also like a taster primer from the upcoming cardigan and knit along that we're going to be running, because why not just do 2 Brooklyn tweed cabled cardigans back to back, which is my plan, and I think you guys should too. I'm sorry, we must stop for a moment. Someone just walked by with a pair of wide-legged jorts, a black oversized t-shirt, and a tribal armband tattoo, and that person was under the age of 30, which means they did not get that tattoo the original time in the 90s, which means they just got it, and it was fresh. And I have questions. Okay, great. Moving back to Exeter.
It has quite a big ribbon band, huh?
It has quite a big ribbon.
Like I thought my Baronia had a big ribbon band.
No, and I have added an inch of ribbing, and I'm adding an inch to the repeats of the cable to get it the right length, because that's what I did last time. Because this is the second time I'm knitting Exeter, and I must admit, the most shameful thing that I'm considering at the moment, because it has the same number of buttonholes in this size, and I really love the buttons that are on my Exeter, I am considering reclaiming them.
Yeah, easy.
To use them as second time. Even though it's hanging up in the shop, and will be for the foreseeable future.
We can put other buttons on it.
Yeah, exactly. But this I just love. I love the cable and lace. I'm making this in Shelter from Brooklyn Tweed, which we will have in store very, very soon.
And that's the worsted weight, right?
Yes, this is the worsted weight, and I'm using the colorway Iceberg. And I am knitting from stash. This is from my deep stash, like 8 years ago stash. So I'm loving it. I'm super thrilled to be back on board with Michelle Wang and making a Brooklyn Tweed garment. And I've actually decided to pack away all of my other knits until this is done, because my own enjoyment is actually worth it. Yeah. So I'm going to knit this until it's finished and then cycle back to my other things, because I must survive the button band, which is, if we all thought that the hem was a lot of ribbing, oh boy, we have a lot ahead of us. It's double-breasted and 2x2 rib with a shawl collar.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think I might have, like, PTSD style blocked out making this before.
I'm good at doing that.
Yeah.
Tessellated.
Oh, I mean, I'm still waiting for you to start the socks in like a couple of weeks. It's gonna be hilarious.
I'm not doing this.
You say that now. So that is everything that we both have on our needles.
Pretty much.
This might be.
I have a bunch that are just languishing.
Yeah, I also have several that are languishing, and I do have a new Durarium project on the needles because I'm addicted to Durarium. I don't know about anyone else, but it's bad.
And that makes me mad every time I see that swatch or your...
Oh, yeah, I'm
like,
so sorry for what we're doing. Okay, so 2 of us have decided to knit. I already ordered mine, and then a customer came in, the lovely, wonderful Dale, who I adore, and she came in and decided to knit the book club cardigan by Story Nordlund, which is also part of our cabled cardigan knit-along, and if you start a little early, we won't tell. Some people need more than the allotted time. The cabled cardigan knit-along starts technically on December 1st, but if you've already started, don't tell me, I won't know. And it will be wrapping up on February 14th with a super fun Galentine's, Palentine's, Valentine's party. You pick your consonant and then come over. And it's great, and I'm super excited, but the problem is when you hold the Hainese and you list together, you create a fabric that feels like silk velvet.
It's really nice.
And then when you block it, it blooms, and the mohair seems to like meld to the wool completely and create this like arc of sheen over top, and the wool comes through from beneath, and the silk core is shining in the stitch pattern, and it's...
You just want to...
Yeah. It's just overwhelming and beautiful. And if you are sitting at home questioning why you're not knitting with Berenice and Ulysse, we don't know either.
Yeah.
Please do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
Like, order some. And the other problem is I made a bit of a whoopsie and thought I ordered something else, and it turned up. And we also now have a bag or 2 of Penelope in the shop in the same color. and nothing else to put with it. And the issue is that the Penelope is also amazing.
Especially that color too. It's
Yeah.
so pretty.
It's a DK weight, 90% organic merino, 10% silk, and it's just crazy beautiful. And we have it in the plume colorway. And if you want some, just email us. We'll be happy to set it up for you.
Because we do have the mohair in that color too, don't we?
Yes, because I did do that correctly. Because
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, you know what people love? Like purple virgin on burgundy.
Mm-hmm.
And this color is purple. Like, it is like the finest vintage of a red wine. That's the colorway.
Yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm madly in love. It's great. And I'm knitting using eucalyptus at the moment, which looks exactly like the color of eucalyptus for once, which is a rarity in things called eucalyptus.
Yeah.
And so I've got double eucalyptus on the needles. I'll show you all next week. It's insanity.
Mm.
Now,
Also a lot of ribbing.
entire, yeah.
Mm.
I seem to be infected with a different disease from Emily. So Emily has a moss stitch disease.
Hints.
Yeah. Where I definitely have a bit of a ribbing disease, and I am knitting with yarn held double on a 3.5 millimeter needle, an entire drop shoulder pullover in fisherman's rib, and she is not fast. She is not a quick knit. I kind of see why people over the years have tried alternatives for fisherman's rib, but I have to be very honest. I swatched several different fisherman rib alternatives. So I'm doing this in half fisherman's rib, and I swatched shaker rib, and I swatched other stuff, and there's just no substitute for the actual fisherman's rib because of the way it works. If you want that actual fabric, you have to do it, but it is certainly a labor of love, and I think that's why true fisherman's rib has fallen out of fashion, but I'm bringing it back.
Is that why like brioche was brought in to? Because isn't that similar?
Yes. Yeah, so they're both tuck stitches, and essentially if you do true fisherman's rib, not half fisherman's rib, you are making essentially one color brioche. But when you do half fisherman's rib, you're making essentially a slip stitch purlwise rib with a double rib on one side and a half rib on the other, which is really cool. But it makes it much more knitting to produce the same volume of fabric.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the thing. Brioche came about as a way to make the fabric less stiff, essentially, because fisherman's rib, even true fisherman's rib, is quite a bit stiffer than brioche. And the brioche two-color fabric is completely reversible when knit flat, which is unique to it.
Mm.
So, and Nancy Marchand is just kind of like incredibly clever, actually. Some of the stuff she comes up with is not particularly usable woven knitting. Sorry, Nancy, if you're watching. I would say for the average knitter, a lot of the things that she develops are beyond the skill set, but what I would call the trickle down. So when other designers like Stephen West, Suzanne Summer, I'm thinking of Leslie Ann Robinson, Lavagna Patritrella, take the techniques that Nancy has developed. They're really good at translating it into things that we can actually knit in brioche, because if you really want the true terrifying sweep of brioche, you must buy Nancy's books, and then you will understand what I mean, because she has made things that even I occasionally am like, yeah, okay, sure, Nancy. Totally. Let me get right on that 9-color Intarsia cabled brioche pullover that you come up with. Absolutely. I'll see you in 2027.
Just 2 years. I would have gone with 10. Maybe.
Oh, no, two for Ethan. I mean, it's the same thing as like Kieran Foley from, he has his own line of patterns, and what he does is very specific, and it's all semi-Intarsia trapped and lace weight shawls, and they're, he's called Knit Lab. If you're looking for things that are, my interests in knitting, I will be very blunt, are not particularly commercial. The things that the majority of people really knit aren't things that I hunt for myself. So I tend to actually want to make the things that like Nancy and Kieran come up with. But I do recognize that they're not accessible to the majority of knitters, which has its own issues.
Yeah. And part of that is, I think, you being a designer too. Like, I have a similar thing with sewing. Like, I'll see a pattern or a dress, and I'm like, it's beautiful, but I could make that.
Yeah.
Like, I could, it's just a square with a thing
That's
on
the
it,
thing, right?
Like, yeah.
And when
I already have that pattern.
And when the mystery falls away, and like, I always look at line drawings and stuff like that, and I'm sure you do the same when we're looking at pattern specs and that, and it's like, A, you left a lot of things out that could have been done.
Yeah.
And B, you've done a lot of things that shouldn't be done. Like, I have purchased a pants pattern in the past. I'm quite good at sewing pants, bad at sewing everything else, that had 32 thread clips in it. Which makes no sense.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, I only did the 4 that I do normally, because I was like, don't need that one, I don't know why any of these are here. Done. Like, let me mark a dart and move on.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, I think that's a very apt.
It's a fun noise.
Yeah, hopefully. People tell us that the noise doesn't come through on the... Sorry, I was just very distracted by a man that walked. What is going on? This has been a day. Let's move on to what we have to sell you.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. Here's the shop update portion. And actually, this is probably a moment to tell you that this particular portion of the podcast, the shop update, will continue to be called What the Flock and will happen every Saturday. Going forward, it's going to happen as a live between 9:30 and 10. Not promising how long I will be here, but that is what's going to be happening with What the Flock. And we will be adding a second podcast called How's the Flock? And that's going to be a Tuesday one. And I think How's the Flock is going to be really, really popular. So stay tuned for the details on what that's going to look like in the new year, which is going to be kind of loosely inspired in some ways by my only and favorite knitting podcast. Only one that I watch. Please don't at me. If you are somebody who has their own knitting podcast and I don't watch yours, I'm sorry. I do this for work, for a living, all day long. I go home and I watch CrossFit on repeat, or Rick and Morty. End of list. But yeah, it's loosely inspired by things that I saw going on Fruity Knitting that I wanted to make more local to our community. And so over time, you will hopefully meet many members of the flock. And we will find out how all of their knitting is going and hear a little bit about their knitting journeys and stuff like that. And I am currently building a studio in a garage. So I think that the first couple ones are going to be rough, like lawn chairs inside of an unfinished garage. But it's going to be honest and frank. And I think that you're going to love the people that you meet, including another podcaster, BB, and some other great people who I am definitely going to drag kicking and screaming on camera for all of your pleasure. And those who are not prepared for it, I might get drunk first. So stay tuned for that plot twist. Now, I have unintentionally planned a sale for this weekend, and you have a stack of beautiful things next to you, and I have a stack of other beautiful things that you largely helped organize, and I'm super excited to tell the peoples about. But let's kick off with the sale, because the peoples love a sale. Fair enough. It may surprise you to find out that yet again, close your ears, Emily, that yet again, Ethan has ordered box upon box upon box of yarn. And then, while we have rearranged the shop significantly, there's still not quite enough.
It's kind of somehow already full. Like we just,
It's not my fault. Someone else is to blame. It's look, this thing happens where I'm like, oh, good, I see 3 free hooks. I can order 10 more kilos of yarn. And everyone else is like, no, there's only 3 free hooks. How many? I'm like, 15 skeins. And they're like, that's not 10 kilos. And I'm like, close enough.
Yeah.
So I've done some very poor space math, and we have a truckload of yarn coming to make your summer knitting dreams even better, and more yarn that I've just ordered. So we need to make some room. And our beautiful friends Spincycle make gorgeous, gorgeous yarn that we love, but it is taking up quite a bit of space in the shop at the moment. So we are going to be sharing some of our overstock, essentially, with you in the form of a sale. So we've made some shift sets. So Merry Shiftmas, everybody. These guys are going to be coming to you at a further discount because they're already paired in sets of 3. And there's enough yarn in here to do a beautiful shift cowl by Andrea Mowry, a shift again, or a shifty pullover in most of the sizes. I think it's up to size 6 that you only need 1 skein of each color. So boom, boom, boom. We've set these up. They're really, really cute. I wrapped them. I'm very pleased with myself.
It's like a little lapel
jacket. I wanted it to look like a little tuxedo for it. And I didn't even look up instructions on the internet. I just folded it myself. And the first one worked perfectly. And I was like, That never
Ooh.
happens, not even one time. So those little beautiful shift knit sets are up for you, and you will be able to find them at a discount on the website. And also, we have put all of the Spincycle, and only the Spincycle, on sale for you this weekend. I should say as well, we do have one other thing that we've been trying to sell out to you guys, just because restocking it turned out to be aggressively challenging. Is that a good phrase?
Yeah.
Just restocking it turned out to be aggressively challenging, and the Fino is all gone, but we do still have some great, super well priced Menosha Uruguay Allegoria Grande, which is a worsted weight yarn in some beautiful colors at a steep discount.
6 colors?
6 colors.
Yeah.
Please snap that up. It needs to go to somebody's home. The Adoption Center is considering sending it out to pasture. We're the Yarn Adoption Center in this story. The other thing is, and we know that all of you at home have absolutely no ability, I'm going to keep spinning these, no ability to resist mini skeins. And we have
They're like mini skeins with sparkle.
Yeah, so these are some beautiful sparkle mini skein sets. Oh god, I can't English today. From the wonderful, right? From the wonderful Harney Hoolies. And they are designed to coordinate with some of the beautiful yarns that we've gotten in from them as our sock dyer of the month. I mean, sock dyer of 2 months technically, because they're going to cross over November and December.
Yeah.
Whoopsie. I'm going to hand a couple of these to you because I think they are very Emily. I'm going to keep the ones that are definitely very Ethan. We have several beautiful options for you, including monotone, which is literally all the colors that I used to knit in, just great. This particular little beauty, which is not with a mini skein, this is Wool Feast 24's colorway, also on that same sparkle base. And last but not least from my little heap, what are you called? Aurora. Excellent. And it does look like an Aurora.
Yeah.
She nailed it. And I just love Julie's yarn. I've actually wound some of this sparkle yarn, the first and only time I will knit with sparkle yarn, to make somebody a pair of socks. My friend Gareth, a pair of socks, because I think it'll be really funny to give a large, straight engineer man sparkly rainbow socks.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll wear them every day.
Right? I hope so. And then you've got a couple beauties there.
This one's one of my favorites. So this is Sunset.
That literally has every color you love.
Yeah.
All at once.
Exactly. And these were like the starting point for them was the sock pattern that I made, the
flutterbutt socks.
So you've got like stuff for your ruffle, and then for the main of the socks. And
cute.
They all have bronze stellina as the sparkly, which is hard to show on the photos, but
and on camera, but in person, it's much more subtle and tasteful than the silver stellina, in my anti-stellina opinion.
It's just like a little glint of sparkly. And then this one...
That one is so good!
They designed a special colorway for us. So it's Get Flocked ! Because...
Get flocked.
Yeah.
A statement.
Exactly. So that is this one. So there's the full skein and then a little mini skein. It's so pretty.
Super cool.
We kind of asked them to like match our website colors. Yeah. So that's where
and she freaking nailed it.
Yes. So pretty. I love like this where it's just like a swirl of...
She's like, all of them have a moment where you're like, oh, like there's this part here where the greens and yellows just kind of crack and pop and burst that makes you feel that way. And even on the gray, there's this moment on the butt of it where all of the colors lighten simultaneously to this like wash of pearl shades. It's super beautiful.
They're really pretty and a really reasonable price, I think, for what you get. Like
$45 for the ones with the mini, and $35 for the ones without.
Yeah,
wild.
And then I can't remember how much the mini set is.
Ooh, let me check. The mini set is also $35. That's
crazy.
Wild. There we go.
Yeah, and these would be great for like the likes of the Summerlee monthly colorwork things.
Exactly, and if you wanted to make
knits.
Totally, or a bright version of my strip cowl, if you wanted to use one of these, and like that guy, for example, that would be really fun.
Yeah.
So we've got great pattern options, and I really do want to just give a big shout out to sock knitters. We are doing everything we can to stock all the sock yarn known to mankind for you, and we're getting better and better at it. We have other sock yarn on the way already, and we know that sometimes sock knitters are kind of an afterthought at a lot of yarn stores, and it's not necessarily the best time. But we promise that we have a massive selection of stock yarn that also every single one of them doubles as a garment yarn.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, quite an accomplishment on our part.
Yeah.
We banged it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the ones we have are like really nice. Like
really
nice to wear.
Nice to wear, lovely to work with, especially, and I think we're both going to agree on this one, amble.
Yes. And the Essayer one.
Yeah, the Essayer sock is so warm and comfortable.
It's just super squishy and dense and amazing.
It turns out the Europeans know sock yarn like nothing we've actually found before. Even the sock yarn from Dark Omen is incredible.
Yes.
And we love it.
Yes.
So
does everyone else.
Yes, there is almost no Dark Omen left. Don't worry. We are already ordering again. That's kind of some of the yarn that we have to make room for. Whoopsie, whoopsie. Including a possibly inappropriate colorway that I've ordered for the new year. That I think will be an experience, especially once I finish photographing it. So that'll be a time. Now we do have a little bit of housekeeping to do before we leave you today.
Yes.
Emily, I'll let you take this one away.
Okay. So I have the opportunity to work in a new job. So I am going to be managing the fabric store at the tannery. Which is awesome. Yeah. So I won't be around as much, but I'm not disappearing. So you'll still see me now and then. And yeah. And yeah, we've had an awesome time making this little
gem
sanctuary.
in the center of Christchurch.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I know that you're going to bring so many great things to where you're headed.
Yes, and I've already spotted people like knitters in this.
So if you see Emily over there, don't be afraid to say hi.
We can talk knitting. We don't have to just talk sewing.
No,
so,
she is always going to be here in some way or form.
Yes.
You can't escape the Emily Pink.
Yeah.
Which is perfect.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to say to everybody who's watching and to you, thank you for this podcast and for everything. The entire time that you've been here and for all the things we're going to do together in the future. And I'm just super excited for your opportunities and for what you're going to bring to everything.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Well, before I start fully crying on camera, which is never a good look for me, I'm not a pretty crier, I'm going to end this for my own embarrassment. And I will see you guys next week. What will it be like? No one knows. Will I be sober? Probably not.
I mean, there is still a stash somewhere.
Yeah. There's about 6 bottles of alcohol in my shop. All right. You guys have a beautiful day. And don't be afraid to reach out and ask us if you have any questions about what's going on transition-wise and stuff like that. We're always happy to answer. And this is farewell for now, not goodbye. Yeah. And you have to be a regular guest on Who's the Flock, so you're not getting out of that.
Yeah.
But there will be Pims in the garage.
Sorry.
Oh, no.
I just remembered there's some kind of Pims collab that I just saw, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh!
What was it?
I don't know. We're going to have to look it up. Google. We're going to find this Pims collab and tell you guys all about it.
There was a Pims thing.
Oh my goodness.
And I got excited about it, but I've already forgotten what it was.
We'll find it. Okay. Bye.
Bye.